Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. This is part two of the drama of being stuck up here in the Colorado mountains. As I'm doing this video, the original video, the first video, is still being uploaded to YouTube. But hopefully you can hear me. I'll just turn this off. There we go. I'll turn this off. All right, that should be better. So, this is the second half of the what do we want to call it? The drama of being stuck up here with your mama in Colorado. No, no. It's actually a pretty nice day out here. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I can't switch views on this camera, except if I was doing through Facebook. But take a look at that. Not a cloud in the sky, and you see the mountains all laced up with the snow. Anyways, so shortly after I had finished up the prior video of being stuck up here in the Colorado mountains, it was the rest stop up here at Copper Mountain is that is the rest stop that I was at. That it is. It's pretty difficult for trucks. I wouldn't recommend going to that place if you got a truck, just for the fact that you very well may get stuck. So like I said, after I made that video, I got lucky. There was a break in there was a hole that I can get through. So if you look at the previous video, there was a FedEx truck that was trying to squeeze on through and couldn't get through because one of the other trucks was in the way. So these are the trucks that the typical truck that you see out here has got the standard 53-foot trailer, and then you got the tractor itself, which is probably another 20-something feet or whatever. So you're looking at an excess of over 70 feet of vehicle, right? And so so I'm sitting in the truck after I just filmed, and I see that the truck that was pretty much blocking the roadway, he moved up enough to where that FedEx truck could get through right there, right? And he made a circle around, and he went right on around, and I'm thinking, oh man, he's gonna get stuck on the other side of the on the other side of the loop there, because it's a tight turn having to come back out of that loop there. And the reason why it's so tight is because there's another truck that's parked right there, and so I'm thinking, I don't know if he's gonna make this. He's probably still gonna end up getting stuck down here. It's how many? I don't know if they're still selling these type of puzzles, but how many of you remember the type of puzzles where it was like a, I don't know, it's kind of like a mosaic or type of thing. It was, I guess, well, it's not like a Rubik's Cube. But anyways, it was for just to describe it. I had a couple of these as a little kid. I had one that had numbers on it, and then I had another one that had it had pictures. So the pictures all scrambled up, and you got all these little bitty squares on this pane, right? And you got one square you got one open spot, one square that doesn't have a tile in it. And so the object was is to try and use that one space, moving these squares around to try and get the picture in order. Just by I don't know what they call it. I don't remember what it was called. But I had a couple of these puzzles, and I used to play with them a lot. So and I had the other one that had like numbers on there. Um, so like I had to try and rearrange all the numbers back in order, but I only had like one square space to move all the tiles around to get it, um, to get everything in order. So, and I used to play with those things for quite a while. So this is that same situation. At, uh, I'm looking at this. I'm like, in order for trucks to start getting out of this place, that's really what's going to have to happen is that trucks are going to have to start moving up, moving up, allowing some of the other trucks that are in better positions to get out of the place to move out, and then once that space opens up, then another truck can get into that spot, which opens up more spots, that kind of thing. So I'm looking at that. I'm like, well, this FedEx truck is going on the other side, and there's another truck that was sitting over there, and I thought for sure he was gonna get stuck over there, trying to get, because that truck is sitting on the other side of the loop there, and then it has a sharp turn that goes back up the hill. But the FedEx truck made it, and I was like, wow, he made it. So there must be enough room to make the turnaround. And so it just seems to me like this one truck just bottlenecked everything. He just blocked the road instead of just, squeezing up next to another truck like he ended up doing, because he was gonna stay there, and the other truck didn't seem like it was gonna move anytime soon. So I'm like, damn. So people could get through. So, but because I came in through the opposite side of the loop there, I'm like, that was probably the best thing for me to do. Even though I went through the wrong side, that was probably the best thing for me to do, because once those two trucks got out the way, once that I don't know who it was, Herbach or something like that. Once they moved out the way, and once a FedEx truck got out of its place and it made its escape, I was like, maybe I'll try this. I was trying to figure out how to get out. Like I already had planned that I was going to try and back the truck up into one of the car slots, but it's like it's like it's still got a bunch of snow everywhere, so that makes it a little hard to get out of there, just because the snow is still there. So yeah. So I thought I was gonna be wrestling with that, trying to maneuver the truck around to try and get around to the other side of the FedEx truck had gotten into, and well, once I saw that space, I got the truck, and I went and I walked that area, and I was like, I got plenty of room to get through here, and I don't have to. It's not going to be it's not going to be a super. It's not going to be a big. Well, sorry. It's not going to be not going to be making a bunch of sharp turns and stuff like that, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna try it. So I get in the truck, and then there's all these cars. They're starting to come down and starting to pile up, and I'm like, oh damn, man, these damn cars, man, they're gonna start blocking everything. So I'm praying to Jesus. I'm like, Jesus, don't let no cars come down this way. I'm gonna try and get up out of here, and then I'm gonna find me a safe place to park, because I don't, because I don't have enough time to really go anywhere. So I use my personal conveyance so that I can be able to, make some kind of move. And so, sheesh, thank you, Jesus, man. I'm telling you, I found a hole, got through, and and then on top of that, there's still trucks that are on the side of this little narrow road, and so it was just wide enough for me to slip through, right? But I got a little nervous because the snow on the side of the road was still kind of packed and compiled there, right? So I threw my differential locks on, which gives me the power of 8-wheel drive. Those of you who got 4-wheel drive vehicles, ain't nothing like the power of 8 wheels. So I powered that bad boy up, and I started plowing through some of that slushy snow on the side of the road, and it was kind of compacted at the bottom, so it tilted my truck over, right? And I'm like, oh no. So I'm trying to power my way up this slight incline, and I'm riding up on this snow, which makes my truck uneven, and it's leaning over, not to where it's not leaning over so much that I'm fearful of it, tipping over or anything, but it's leaning over enough, and it keeps rocking because it's hitting hard chunks of ice, and it keeps rocking enough to where it's almost leaning over, getting ready to smack another trailer. And I'm like, oh gosh. And so I'm watching it as I'm trying to power right on through here. I get past the truck, and I'm like, I'm like home free. I'm like, woo hoo hoo! I was so happy. I took off, and I got out of there as soon as I could, man. And I got on the road. I was like, I need to find a place to stop and finish out the rest of my break. So I found this location here, which it's a straightaway, and commercial trucks can park here. Actually, this is the only spot that, actually, only commercial trucks can park here. Anybody else coming through here, and I like that because there's not enough parking for truck drivers, and so sometimes these little cars or whatever, they can go and park just about anywhere they want to. They can park certainly in many more places than a truck can. So when I see places like this where they got signs up saying only commercial trucks, I'm happy about that, because I'm like, man, because some of these cars, man, it's like, why are you even here? You can go park somewhere else. Why'd you go pick this place? Well, maybe they don't know that we don't have a lot of parking, but sure enough, they don't care. I'm like, you guys can pretty much park anywhere you want, and then you're gonna find some place where where large trucks can find a safe haven to be, and you're gonna take up some space to where we can't use it. Anyways, it's gonna be time for me to go, but I just wanted to oh, hold on a second. I've been turned on to these things, and get these from Walmart. Let's see if you can see that pretty well. So it's probably backwards on here, but this is like these little pouches, for beets, beet juice, and it's got berries in there and stuff like that, and this stuff right here, prebiotic stuff. This is some good stuff, especially being up here. I made mention in the it's good for it's a healthy drink, and it supplies a bunch of the nutrients that you need and stuff like that. But in the last video, the video is still uploading right now. I made mention that it was hard, kind of breathing up here, because being up here in this high elevation, it is kind of difficult to breathe, and you start just doing some of the just doing some of the things, just like light walking. It can be taxing on your respiratory system if you're not used to this, and I'm not the one that generally runs out of breath easily, especially doing just like a walk. I don't typically run out, get all heavily winded. But up here, I was starting to feel that way, and I wasn't even walking that fast, and it took me a little while to think about where I was at. And I understand that altitude does affect the amount of oxygen that you're getting. So, um, and so I was thinking about what I could try to have to, um, to help me out with the oxygen levels, right? And I remember that I had these things. Now beets, they are amazing when it comes to supplying what's called nitric oxide. And let me just make sure that I said it right. Not I like it. Where did it go? Yeah, nitric oxide. Basically, what nitric oxide is, it well, what it does is that it allows your body to get more oxygen. The nitric oxide, once it gets into your system, it allows the red blood cells to carry more oxygen throughout your system. So all your organs and things like that need oxygen can get an oxygen boost. The oxygen boost can also the oxygen boost can also boost your energy levels and things like that. So things like beet juice is very good for that. And I swallowed a couple of pouches of those, and I'm feeling a lot better. And that's just because the nitric oxide allows more oxygen to run through my system, and that's very critical for up in these high altitudes. So if you're suffering from, like your body is lethargic a lot of times, you feel fatigued, or you feel like you're suffocating, find something that has a large amount of nitric oxide in it, and that will help you out. That will awaken you, it'll liven you up, it'll supply more oxygen to your body. And they have which I need to find some, but they actually have some powders that you can mix into your drinks or whatever, that will give you the nitric oxide. It's a nitric oxide powder, and I've tried it several years ago, and I liked it, but I stopped using it just because I just stopped paying for it. But I think I'm gonna start doing it again. Just buy some nitric oxide powder and stuff like that, because it really does. It helps. It's like, well, for me, caffeine doesn't really do much for me. I don't get no caffeine boost or no energy boost from drinking caffeine or coffee or stuff like that. I just drink coffee for the taste. But if you are sensitive to caffeine, you know what caffeine does to you. It boosts you up, it energizes you and stuff like that. But the problem with caffeine is that once the caffeine is gone, your body crashes. And if your body gets addicted to it, and you stop intaking caffeine, your body's going to go through withdrawals. And so the thing with nitric oxide is that it's not, your body's not going to go through withdrawals, but you are going to notice that you're not you are going to notice that the difference between nitric oxide, having your body full of nitric oxide and not. Nitric oxide is something that your body it does need, and it is an energy booster. It's not a drug like caffeine is. But anyways, I got to get on this road. I'm free, so now I'm gonna have to get out of here because weather reports saying that it's gonna start snowing either tonight or tomorrow or something like that. And I do not want to be stuck up here without no chains. I got no chains, and I need to have chains on I-70 in Colorado. But I was trying to skip through here without having to deal with going to get chains, because I'd have to go out of my way to go pick up some chains. And right now the chain law is not in effect. Roads are clear enough to drive on. So I'm gonna try and get past these, get over this mountain pass, get out of here, so I don't have to worry about chains. But I'll do another video here again soon. Later.